Hi guys, it's Sway. Welcome back to another one of my videos. I feel like it's been forever since I made one of these, but it's just been really busy. It was just my 40th birthday, so I just celebrated that. And that's really got me reflecting about like my life and my journey and, where I've been and how far I've come. And um, yeah, sorry, I'm a little tired this morning and just like thinking about that first thing is, I don't know, somebody always said that life is kind of like a train, like people get on and off your life and, come in and out of your life. I mean, they only spend sometimes, a little bit of time on the train. Sometimes they spend lots of time on the train. Sometimes, there's people that are with you like your whole entire journey and other people that you don't really even notice get on and off of the train. So, it's just been a reflective week of me thinking about, all my past like relationships and like friends and like even like the different types of relationships I've had throughout, my growth and, from being a kid into being now. And, I'm really grateful for where I am in my life. And for such a long time, I was stuck in this area where, I didn't feel good enough about myself. I constantly like was in this like negative pocket all the time. I felt like I was a very negative person. And I used to get really upset with my husband when we were younger. He would be like, you're so negative all the time. Like, you can, decide to be like happy or be, a different way. And I would get like so pissed. I'm like, I don't decide, I'm not waking up and deciding to be depressed or, I'm not waking up and deciding to be miserable. And I really didn't think like it was like a choice at all. I thought it was just something that I like had to live with, as a reality of my past and my life and all my belief systems and everything that I had already like kind of gone through. And so I would get really pissed off at him. I'm like, who are you to say that, I have the right to be happy? And seriously, and then I'd get even more upset because I would be like, you're part of the reason like I feel so shitty. Like, like it's, you're doing this and you're doing that. And like, that blame mentality, that victim mentality of like blaming other people for the way that you feel about your life. Like, oh, it's, my life sucks because like my mom left when I was a kid, or, you know, um, I'm never going to feel good enough because like, my biological dad wasn't really there for me. Like stuff like that. And you can really let that like consume your life. And it's not like I feel like I wasted, all this time. Like I don't think that, I think everything happens for a reason. I feel like, you're always kind of in the spot that you're supposed to be. And, everybody's having like their own different type of experience. And, that's something else that I've really had to like kind of learn too, is that, everybody's having their own experience. And a lot of times, like, you're not going to agree with the way that somebody else might be living their life or their religion or, anything, just, what they're wearing. That type of thing. So, learning to like respect, others' beliefs and opinions and being okay with that, being totally okay with somebody else being the way without having to, push your belief systems or trying to change, other people. Like one of the best things that I've noticed and stuff like that is that like, you can only like really work on yourself and you can only really change yourself. And that's like really the only way you can change the world and make a difference and make an impact is by, working on your inner self. And I think that's why another reason I used to get so mad at my husband when he used to say things like this. I'm like, who are you going to say this when you're out here, living your life? Like, because he was drinking a lot at the time. And I'm like, how are you out here living your life, trying to tell me what to do? Like, you don't have your shit together. Like, get out of here. Get out of my face. But when he started to like, stop drinking and like, kind of get his life together, his shit together, like it was like a tumble down effect. Like, I feel like I kind of started like, following suit, like, and, that's what made me really realize that like, like if you want to help other people, if you want to help yourself, like you really have to like go inside and do your own work, and the people around you will, they'll gravitate to that. They'll still see that you're like, doing well, or, that you're living a more happy life. Like your whole vibe change. I think like even like your energy changes. Like even being around people, like even my pictures, like, so I obviously, a lot of you know that I do makeup, and I had stopped for a while, especially through like my journey. I had stopped. I felt kind of like guilty about it, like maybe it was like a vain thing of me to do that maybe I shouldn't focus so much on the way I look, or like the things that I'm posting, like because sometimes when you're doing stuff like that, when you're constantly like taking pictures of yourself and like posting it on the internet, like it could actually start to like lower your self-esteem, because you're constantly judging yourself, you're constantly looking through the picture roll to find like the perfect image. Um, and sometimes like I almost feel like it's like deceptive in a way, because like I'm sitting here taking like a billion million photos for like a few photos that actually look really nice. So I had a hard time with it, and so I stopped doing makeup for a while, just because like it was making me feel bad about myself, and I didn't want to be like in all the vanity and all that those things. And then I was going on like my journey of like discovery and like trying to figure out what my purpose is. Um, it was kind of brought to my attention that like I have a gift of creating art and doing makeup, and I've been trying to do that like every single day, regardless of how much time I have, just because like that's gonna get me closer to my goals, and to be like the person that like I'm meant to be, or that I want to be. Like I am that person now. So I decided to like go back into like makeup, and really focus on my art and do all of these things. And with that though, I've kind of had to find like a balance, like a struggle for like how to not get like caught back up into like all that vanity and stuff. And so it's a little bit hard, especially like when you put so much work into like a project or a look, and then you post it online and stuff. And sometimes people are really receptive, like, oh my god, that's amazing, that's amazing, that's amazing. And the other times people like rarely don't even see it. Like I spent hours on like this tutorial put up there, and like two people like it, and you're like, oh my god. Like, but like you can't let that get you down. Like you just have to like keep going and keep trying and doing what you love, and like not focus so much on like the end result, about like the likes, or like how many people told you that they appreciate your work, but like the process of it, like the enjoyment of actually creating the art, the freedom in that type of moment, and like being more focused on that. So that's what I've been trying to do. And I haven't had a lot of free time to make videos on healing for you guys, but I noticed like since I haven't been making the healing videos, like I have been like kind of slipping back into like the not being good enough feeling again. And I know it's like from looking at like my photos, and it like I'm like thinking like, oh my god, that sucks. Like like I love doing makeup and I love putting this out there, but then like looking back at the photos, it makes me feel bad about myself. And so my conclusion is that there's more work that I have to do to get to that spot. And I can't give up. I have to keep going, and I have to keep doing what like sorry, I cry like all the time. But I can't give up, and I have to keep going, and I have to keep creating, because I believe that's like one of my purposes in life, is to be an artist, to be a creator. And I can't keep letting myself hold me back, because honestly, like I'm really the only one holding me back. I'm the only one on the other side of that camera that's saying, god, this like this isn't good enough, this isn't it's I'm good enough. Jeez. So right now I'm just trying to figure out a balance of still creating and doing everything that I love, but also staying grounded, and realizing that like it's all kind of up to me. Like I have a chance to keep going, or I have a chance to like regress back into that state of not feeling good enough. And I think one of my motivations is to actually look at the way that my life has changed so far. Like for example, if I stopped doing all these things I love to do every day, if I stopped doing those, if I stopped doing like my meditations, if I stopped doing all these things, like where would I be? Like where would my life be in like 10 years? I'd be 50, what would I be doing? You know, would I be happy? Would I be sad? Like, what would my relationships look like? Um, and I kind of know the answer. If like I was to stop doing all those things, I would probably regress back to like what it was like a few years ago, where I was extremely depressed and upset all the time, and um, victim mentality and blaming other people, blaming, you know, those around me that I love the most for all my problems. Um, so I think that, you know, that does give me motivation to like wake up every day and keep doing the things that I love. And one of the things that I do love is actually making these videos for you guys, but it helps me so much. You know, it's one of the things that's given me like, you know, the courage to, you know, make tutorials and make these things. And, you know, even if somebody doesn't like recognize the work right away, like just to keep at it, like it's all like a learning experience. Like I spent like so much time on this one tutorial like this day, and I was like, oh my God, you know, is this even worth it? Like all this time and energy that I spent on something that like only a few people like will see. And I just tell myself, it was worth it. You know, you learned a lot from it. You're farther than you were like even a year ago. Like a year ago, I don't think that I would ever make a video at all a year ago. Like I've actually made videos in the past, like when I was living like in Maricopa and stuff like that. I made videos, and I would never post them. Like they're just, I don't know, like they were just so hard for me to even watch. Like I just didn't feel good enough about myself to even like get through like the video making process, just because I was so critical about like every single little thing. So for me to like make all these healing videos and to even make like the tutorials, it's been a really big step in my process. Um, and I'm just really grateful for like where I am today. I know I've been like a little bit teary eyed, guys, but like I'm tired. I was up late last night um, doing things, and I'm a little bit puffy. um, See, even now, like I'm sitting here doing a video for you, and I can see it on the camera. I'm like, I look puffy. I look swollen. I think I still have makeup on from one of the looks that I finished last night too. um, but I just don't want, to lose like my authenticity. I can't even talk today. While I'm like going through the process of doing like my makeup and my looks, because like I think a lot of times I can get lost in like the vanity and like the self-hate and regress back into that space. And like if I do that, I know that it's just gonna end my creativity. It's like gonna come crashing down. So I'm gonna just put that out of my mind. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep doing the things that I love every single day. I'm gonna keep working towards my goals. Like I just want to say thank you to all the people who have like been watching me along my journey. Like I really appreciate you guys. I'm so thankful to have you guys as part of my community and my life. Yeah, and keep watching. I'll try to make more videos where I don't look like I'm such a mess. Bye, guys.